ANZ is predicting a 20% house price boom. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your cup of coffee. The Stein is getting cleaned. Don't worry, it's okay. It's okay, I just forgot it and left it in the other house. But, once again, one of the banks is predicting house prices to rise such and such percent, 20% here. Remember when we were talking about corrections of 10, 15, 20, even 40% a year ago? You know, when we had our first recession ever in, well, living memory for most people that have worked in 28 years, everyone. Before that, I was a child at the last recession. I remember it fondly because my parents had their own businesses. So, of course, it impacted the family finances. Some people probably have little memory of it. You've got people working now that are too young. So, there you go, everyone. Of course, housing must always go up during a recession. Yeah, that has to be completely normal. Let's have a look at this article on Yahoo Finance, written by Eliza Bevan. Home price boom. Okay. Prices to rise over 20%, the ANZ predicts. So let's have a look. I'll just center this screen up here. Before we jump that, let's have a look here at the SQM data, and we can see here houses are slightly coming off the top, off the peak there, the posh houses. The three bedders, kind of flat, apartments going up a little bit, but overall it's been rocketing for years. Now, if we look at national, which includes the regional areas, you can see they're still growing strong. And if we zoom in, let's jump in, we have a look at Sydney. This is where the biggest correction was, and let me just reload this. There you go. You can see that quite evident there with all houses. Then if we have a look here at Melbourne, climbing a little bit, but flat. And good old Brisbane, well, there you go. You can see how we're climbing. And I'll just bring one regional area to focus because, well, it's just showing you how crazy that is. Look at that, everyone. Boom. That's in Mooroomba. So, let's have a look and continue at this article, everyone, because would you be surprised if houses increase by 20%? I know there are people that are waiting and hoping for a correction in the market so housing is more affordable, but I can't see that happening. You've got to remember, everyone, Australia is, well, we're not an equal society here, okay? This is the differences in household incomes for high, middle, and adjusted lower. 430, about 900 with change, and over $2,000 a week. There you go. So let's have a look and see if ANZ's prediction will be not accurate. Sydney home prices are set to boom 23% by the end of this year, according to a new forecast from ANZ. ANZ senior economist Felicity Emmett said the bank predicts Sydney home prices will have risen 23% by the end of the year, leaving many Aussies to wonder when prices will cool. Maybe in 2022 when we start to see a predicted slowdown in some parts of the economy. What do you think? We've bumped up our housing price forecast a little and now see prices rising just above 20% in 2021 on average across the capital cities. We still anticipate some slowdown in price growth over coming months, driven by slightly higher mortgage rates and decreasing affordability. Well, we already don't have, I guess it depends on where you're sitting in the weekly earnings for a household, what you'd consider affordable compared to others. Because, if you're earning over $2,000 a week as a household, with interest rates so low now, you'd be able to borrow so much money. No problem. And even if interest rates increase, you'd still have enough capacity to handle it. This is why there's concern, when people are talking about, if interest rates go up, there'll be a correction. And let's just bring up this, hang on. These charts here I want to show. Negative equity is crashing down. We can see here prepayments for home loans are high, everyone. Indebted owners, renters, and outright homeowners all have significant liquidity buffers. So I think it would have to be extensive and long-term and significant increases in the interest rates to really hit people. I think there'll be enough time. And then the question is, if it's not, how long, here we go, how long will the government let people feel the pain before they intervene? Because remember, this is Australia. We're the mortgage keeper nation. I've got to make some mortgage keeper merch. What do you think? Emmett said the current momentum behind property prices suggests that both 2021 and 2022 could outpace all previous forecasts, meaning next year may be just as competitive and first home buyers could be left behind. Affordability constraints are now biting, and these are likely to see first home buyers lending continue to drift lower, she said. However, the research also suggests that young Aussies are turning to the bank of mum and dad for more help than ever before, which Emmett said is worrying. And DFA has been talking about that for some time. That's just the culture we have now, everyone. The average amount of parental assistance for home deposits has grown to approximately 90,000, she said. This is what's happening. You're getting a class divide. Everyone, you're getting a class divide. I don't blame parents. If you've got the money, if you can afford it, do it. Why not? You want to help your kids? Life isn't fair, everyone. If anyone told you life is fair and you think it is, and you get upset when you hear about things like this, well, come on. Those fairy tales are, they're in the same line as Santa Claus and communism. It's all a big joke. Not everyone can really, save as much money as I can on haircuts with being beautifully bald. Some people have hair they have to maintain. It's curly and dirty. I really feel quite sorry for them. Life isn't fair. If significant parental assistance for first home buyers is as common and as large as the survey suggests, this is a very negative signal for both affordability and intergenerational inequality. Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You've got to realize you are building a future you're planting a tree that you won't sit in the shade of, but future generations will. There needs to be that understanding and appreciation of an intergenerational legacy that you pass down to your children, not just resetting every generation. And I think certain cultures appreciate that more than others. So, buyer demand is high. This comes as demand for homes surge to the highest in 4 years. The Domain Buyers Demand Index, BDI, recorded its highest ever demand for property in March 2021. The impact of the strong demand for property has led to a large number of houses selling well above the decade average. I'm probably getting spam with those stupid text messages right now. The bots or that virus everyone's getting. In capital cities, 28% of homes sold above the decade average, and this jumped up to 60% for regional areas. And we saw in that example there of just regional areas just going nuts, everyone. Record low interest rates, prioritization of home life due to travel restrictions, and accumulation of savings through the COVID-19 has given Australians greater buying power, which increased buyer demand as well as house prices, Domain's Chief of Research and Economics, Dr. Nicola Powell said. It's interesting as well. We saw from the HIA with their predictions that new home starts will slow in 2022, but they didn't think renovations would because, well, there is savings that people are acquiring, and then what do you do with money in Australia? You go on holiday to Bali, you buy investment properties, you renovate the house. Demand for houses and units are now on par as house prices create affordability restraints for first home buyers, and this is particularly evident in Sydney and Melbourne. So there we have it, everyone. So 20% property price booms. What's the solution? What's the takeaway here, guys? Well, let me get on my soap. Well, we've got to think of a few things. If you are hoping to jump into property, if you want to borrow and take advantage of some of the low interest rates, plan for the worst case scenario. Plan that you lose your job, you get down to one income, or you get into a lot of trouble, and then anticipate that interest rates may have to increase. If you can plan out the worst case scenarios and you can still handle it, then you should be okay. Remember, you get all these people bitching, whinging and moaning, oh, the banks, the lending standards, all of this rubbish. All of the people calling for that think you're an idiot that can't manage your own worst case scenarios. We need to bring that back, individual responsibility and get people to grow up. But with regards to this, even if we saw a correction, there's ample evidence now that the government will intervene. We've got an election coming up. Is Shorten going to be the new Labour leader? Will he come back? Are we going to have Albanese? Remember, they've abandoned negative gearing. They're not going to fight it anymore. Are they going to try and get more reforms in to make housing more affordable? Or by then, it seems like they're only on the attack, criticising the coalition because of the COVID and the vaccine and all of this. By the time there's an election, that problem may be gone. People may not care anymore. It'll go back to housing affordability. And then, what we'll have? Frydenberg will be coming out, oh, we gave these 2% more, deposit guarantees, 5% deposits, all of this stuff. Yeah. What we need, the solution, the long-term solution is reform. The government needs to step out of this industry, needs to stop intervening the market. We need to look at getting negative gearing, phasing it out over time, not having all these boomer clauses in it so previous generations still reap the benefits, but phasing it out. You got 10 years, or maybe even for just a certain period of time. Keep it in there, but only for 10 years of a house ownership. At least then property will flip a bit more. We'll have to see, guys. We all know what the solution is. It's for government to step out of the market and allow it to self-correct. But I don't know if there'll be political will for that in Australia. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one, and what solutions would you have for our housing affordability issues here? Do you think ANZ are on the money? Are we going to see a 20% house price growth? If you're in housing, it's what you want. As always, take care, guys. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon, sign up for SelfWealth or Stake, use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve or AussieBroadband. You can buy our pocket squares from HeiseSays or use Gold Pass or PayPal. Take care, have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye for now.